Keep killing me. What you running for, man? What you running for, man? That's something on lesson. That's something ain't good for you, man. Ha 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 ha. That's my little bro. I got you. Don't jump up there like you did before, man. Right? Outside the door, you're not going outside. There's two of them right there by the door. And see, they don't even run for me. They run from you. You know why they don't run for me? Because I talk to them. You don't want to talk to them. You want to chew on them. I can't have you chewing on them. That's not my energy. I don't know where that comes from. I don't eat no damn lizards, iguanas, and shit. It's funny. So it's like, hey, what's going on, man? I don't know why people aren't showing up. It's the notifications. I guess they felt some kind of bad about the message I left on the other platform. So I'm going to go ahead and read because I'm not going to sit here and play Rain Around Rosie and Pocket Full of whatever the fuck posies or whatever that stuff's called with people. I'm just going to go ahead and read, and if they come in, they come in, and we keep it moving. Let me set this right. Why you keep messing with this? Yeah, he a trip, mate, because you see me locking the latches. He goes and he smacks on the latches. Try. What's going on, beloved? Yeah, what the hell? All right, that's gone. There we go. So I was gonna give a little tea, but it seems like everybody wants to be off in the world doing whatever goofiness they're doing. I mean, it's Monday. Yeah, okay, whatever. I always tell people, so what they, as long as people keep maintaining the day and the birthdays and all that stuff, they're never gonna move forward. It's just no way. I'm just gonna send it to a couple people I know who unsubscribe and resubscribe, and I told them it doesn't matter. The people are troubled. That work these platforms, and so we're gonna get a few more minutes. I'm not in a rush. It's not like I got a whole lot to do. Now, next week I will. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what is that? Okay. So don't come on in. I'm just in the lab creating. Oh, okay. So you're doing your damn thing. That's what's up. Yeah, I just want to get the last week. I told them I'd come back around 5 or so, and that's, it's like going on 6. And I actually came, created it. It's been like an hour. Like at the notification, and they said, "Oh, we're letting people know." Like what kind of felonious nonsense is that? I guess they're troubled. I'm not here to split hairs on what they're doing because I really don't care. But I had some tea to drop as well. And I just realized I can have Messenger on my tablet. Thank goodness I'm not putting it on this mother. Not at all. Anyway, so why am I saying stuff from 8 hours ago? They be cracking me up. 8 hours ago and 3 days ago on my other Instagram account. It is so comical. Like, you can't make this up, y'all. You can't make this up. They doesn't feel coming, and that's all that matters. I don't care about a whole lot of people. I don't know why they so troubled. Oh, Jag, what's going on, brother? Well, right now, nigga. That was 25 minutes ago. That was my good brother. He subscribed. I need him to come over and watch because he's a good brother back over in North Carolina who's really, really good. Information-wise, studying and knowing, and actually applying this stuff. Even in hey, Ronald, what's going on, beloved? Even applying this stuff as far as legalese-wise, to which most people in the courthouses, which is under a false, not under their truth, okay? The magistrates and people, and I had this idiot esquire trying to tell me, judge and magistrate are the same thing. I'm like, how long you been practicing? What the fuck is you? Who is you? What land you on with? And they were like, oh. This is sunflower lecithin, lemon, and lime. And then I got, you're supposed to take I think it's 1 teaspoon of black seed oil. I'm actually taking 2 teaspoons a day for 3 days. And I won't take it for like about a week or two, unless I feel like I have to because of the omega-3 and 6. Because even though I have sardines, mackerels, and I have tuna, I just don't want to eat that shit. I get like that, and it'll last for a while. You'd be surprised at some of the things I haven't eaten that y'all see me eat before. My body, when it starts rejecting stuff, it's not even an allergy. I've had allergy tests by a very good friend of mine where it doesn't go off to the government. Like I said, in their basement, they have they have it all. He does his own family. He was a doctor practicing for about 30 years, and he said, man, the stuff they had him doing, that was against all the oath they take and everything, but he made his millions. So I go to him, daughter sticks me, all their needles is the old ones that they steam in this machine. There ain't nothing coming out some plastic that you can put nanobites and poison and chemicals on in these hospitals. Just because they package don't mean they're legitimate. He reads it out on this color chart thingy, but whatever he did, he's showing me. I'm like, am I allergic to anything? So he let me know what I really shouldn't eat. Not that I'm allergic to it, but remember I was saying on the other page that some things have cause and effect. You dig what I'm saying? T, what's going on? Hit that like, y'all coming up in here, my beloveds. Come on now. So I wanted to share a little information. Then we're going to read these books. I'm going to read 100 Years Lynching first. Let me get the right one. Okay. Oklahoma. This is going to be a good one. What year is this one going to be about? 1923. Then we're going to get into Jews and Muslims in British America and ancient and modern Britons. Now, I was going to read the American Discovery of Europe, but not yet. I'm going to get a little further. As you're going around, because you notice people that hit me in inbox, yo, did you hear about October 4th? I says, did you watch David Bowie? What's the name from Nightly Press? He asked him about the black noise. I've been telling y'all for a long time, October 4th, stop listening to the dates they give. Talking about, and listen how crazy it is. Besides the F-35 fighter that's mysteriously supposedly still flying, we know that went to someone who's going to utilize it. Was a foreigner trained here to fly the aircraft, black projects. It's not that they don't have them already. But it's the up-to-date one that had a certain weapon or something on it that it didn't disappear. Now, anyway, Google's supposedly going to do this test in America. This black noise. Remember I was telling you about the repeater? Now, that might be something you can do to protect yourself besides wearing, because you don't know exactly when they're going to do it. But what I'm going to tell you, if you can do it, because y'all are going to be like, where's Red at for like 4 or 5 days? I'm everything. Everything's going to be turned off. I don't need to be entertained with TV, I actually have a little hollow movie thing. I can just watch movies from that. That's not internet or anything. But if you don't have these and some good damn earplugs, is the plastic one over here? Did I take it upstairs? Yeah, it's right here. I keep these in every room. Okay? But you remember your eyes, your nose, your ear, your mouth, your front and your back orifices that surprisingly, like your pores, can pick up audibles and sounds, frequencies, or vibrations. You know, we used to talk about the old blue note that make you poop and all that kind of stuff, the brown note. Well, black noise is what was related to the 5G. I'm so grateful for all these young, ignorant ass peckerwoods and dumb Negroes who try to emulate them, not knowing the truth of their history because they've been brainwashed because of dumb parents and too lazy to teach their children. And here we are. And I've seen parents crying about their kids. Oh, and I ain't talking about the ignorant ones in Georgia and the Carolina, all them dumb niggas. I don't know how they got so lost. But anyway, because they're still right where they should know everything. Surprisingly, all my people's dead. I don't know what's wrong with new niggas. Look at that. New nigga over there. Feel like I want to do the Uncle Ruckus. But anyway, right? I'm not going to use the one that's audio. Just straight up black one. I'll walk around. I've slept with these on. I've passed out and slept a good 8-9 hours with these on before, and that's the longest I ever slept. But anyway, they could do it tomorrow. They could do it in the next hour, the next 30 minutes. It's going to supposedly come through all the electronic devices. You can disable them. The thing is, when Sophia went online, 2015, we know the computer's been online longer than that, learning. Otherwise, we would have more cameras in China. Other than that, 350 million compared to 1 billion, 1.6 billion. Come on, man. Think about it. So, if they was going to do that, and people started doing conspiracy ideologies behind it, well, it's well known what the black noise is because there were many people in the music industry who are long gone who discussed and talked about it. They knew well what it was, that it's a real thing that can destroy and bring things. I guess we'll find out. And I've been telling you that the more that many of us have waken up who have been talking about these things, and there's a number of us, they have been pushing forward and rushing. That's why they keep coming over and watching these videos. They haven't been coming here watching. It's surprising, unless I'm off, because they know I know that they're looking. With the F-35, the 35, the Raptor, and the black noise. And have any of y'all noticed that in all the Morocco, Libya, just everywhere, Iran, everywhere, floods, earthquakes, tornadoes where there never was, hail, dead birds falling everywhere, whether the east and west coast, tsunamis. Have y'all been paying attention? You notice that this perfect haze that's been in the sky for the last month and a half, almost, where the sky is not as blue as it was. You can't even see if they're aerosol spraying. I already told you what the true word was on the other page, right? It boggles my mind. It really does. How we can be so caught up in the world they created, talking about, well, I have to live, and we can't separate that side of the lie from the greater expectations of self for the betterment of truth. It takes 5 minutes to meditate, to practice. It takes a couple of minutes to do deep breathing, hyperventilation exercises. It only takes a handful of minutes to establish and set up a perimeter, to work it out, turning everything off, even into the darkness, and moving about accordingly in science. Everybody says, why'd you buy them shoes from TRU? Well, first of all, the first one was bought for me as a gift. I thought they were great, and they are, and they're still great. And so these right here, when I walk around, I don't get no creaks out the steps. You can't hear me coming. These things, you can't hear me walking. These things that I've had for about 5 months, 4 or 5 months now. I'm wearing them because my feet are sore from all them jumping jacks, jogging and everything. I still did some jumping jacks today. I didn't do 250 of them, but I still got them in. And boy, the feet are feeling it, but I got to do it. And I'm doing them barefooted, mind you. So I got to let them get tough like they was before. There's a lot of things going on, and nobody wants to take the handful of minutes. 24-hour day, supposedly 24 hours. Imagine taking 1 hour to yourself for the betterment of spiritual growth. I don't get it why people have such a hard time with that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Mikey, what's going on, beloved? What's cracking? What's cracking? What's going on, beloved? But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start reading, and I just wanted to know, what do y'all think it could be? I was supposed to set up a podcast tomorrow, right? Or Wednesday, so we'll see. I got a lot of questions, a lot of topics. Yeah, I know I'm not political. It's like 87 degrees and 85 degrees in here, y'all, so excuse the sweat. But I had to change the hat out, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and get to reading, but I want to throw another thing at you. So y'all know that I've always known the land to be Australia. The Republic of Tartary, which goes like way beyond that. It goes other terms and names based upon events, situations. Atlantis was real. I don't care what people say or believe or think otherwise. Are we the true Atlanteans? Of course we are. We look different from everybody, and we're not the hybridized, bastardized, mixed ideology of anything else. While they're all running around pretty screwed up, and it's messed up. We went to sleep, and we fell. Did we fall hard? Well, what do you think? And here we have the opportunity in a short period of time to accomplish the believed to be unaccomplishable. You're not going to get support from the pale scans and the hybridized and those who believe in their lies of history and their narratives. You don't need to worry about them. Even the guy that was making all that noise on TikTok, I laughed at him, and he says, well, at least I don't believe in this. And I said, well, at least we can agree upon it. Everything else I don't agree upon because you don't know. And he says, well, at least we came to an understanding on that. And I don't understand nothing. I have complete understanding, not of turmoil, but yes, we agreed upon something. Terminology, words. If you're going to stand for something, what are you going to display when you say something? What are you going to express in your spewing? Is it going to be rhetoric, or is it going to be based upon something worthy? Is the enemy going to look upon it and go, knowing that they're not necessarily an enemy, unless that's their desire? Because many people, enemies are enemies because of ignorance. Are they going to? Is something going to be expressed that's going to break, the ice? Do I want to break the ice with people? It's not about a want. Fuck a want. The need is to be able to break the ice with people and be able to make it through to them in a way that's, I don't have to be overly convincing, but they can look at it and not have to be lethargically stuck because of hate and everything else, venerated by, they don't even know why. Because I says, well, what is the big problem? He said, well, at least you can say you're Afro-Indigenous. You haven't seen me without a hat on my head. What makes you think I got an afro? What makes you think that straight shit you got on your head is an afro? Why is the terminology so important, like black and white, when you don't know nothing about what the origin of white comes from and what it portrayed, especially among the Serpent people, the Negroids, the Atlanteans, the Nagas, the Nagu, the Nagas. What? They don't have an answer because they don't know. It's outside their whole perimeter. To them, it's a whole lot of jib, 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 Charlie Brown, wah. That's what it is. Why is it noise? Because that's all they hear is noise. And if they hear, I just tapped on it. And if they hear noise, what do you think they're going to do? Their expression is going to be based upon noise. So we hear the noise and we make it oratory. Why do we make it oratory? So that way we can grasp where they're at. So somebody brought this to my attention. That says, this is what they do to pull you in and to suck you in, and they still keep the lie amongst you. So they still keep Amerigo Vespucci. He didn't find shit. His name was Amerigo Vespucci. Amerigo Vespucci. But Nobody knows the truth of who Amerigo Vespucci was. We know that he was as black as fucking midnight. Damn near, okay? And they keep wanting to, and because he was working for the enemy, and there were those who knew it, they say, oh, he was cannibalized. Well, he was probably fucking fed to a bunch of dumb son bitches that were caught long ago infiltrating lands. The stories they tell are pure lies, even if that's not the truth and it's fabricated. We always put a spin on it ourselves, saying, oh man, stop with y'all shit, y'all are just all full of crap. Amerigo Vespucci come from where? And who was there at the time? Historically documented. Okay, now, not to dismiss any pale skin, because they existed, motherfuckers, don't get it twisted. But not as you see them today, walking around like there's some giant on the earth. Shit. Excuse my French. But, so they went ahead, and I guess they, Teotihuacan, if they wanted to clean it up, I guess, especially because of these dumbass Moors, I guess, and I say that just as it should be, I guess they wanted to say American. How about how about E-M-E-U, I mean E-M-E, all right, U-C-R-I-A-N, or A-R-C-A. And again, Aethrio. What does it mean? Is it a different language? I don't know, you tell me. I know some of you have been looking up the word. So again, the plumb serpent, right? What does that literally mean? What does it say about the people? Let me see if they went ahead and hit it. They want to say America's sometimes collectively called America. These Ashkenazis, well, I'm not going to never stop talking about negatively because they're a bunch of BS artists, and that's all they are. And they're not even artists, not even artistic. So they're still pushing Amerigo Vespucci, the Italian explorer, and we know that they were swarthy. And Rudy, I got some fake Hebrew trying to talk to me on TikTok. Talking about Rudy is. What's Rudy? Talking about because you light skinned, do you think it's light skinned? Rudy is a brownish red copper complexion. Like, shut up. The horses that are Rudy red, that are running around that are damn near dark brown. I used to ride them, one of my favorite colors besides the Palomino, with their brown, whitish, black, markings. And, talking to a youngin' who don't know nothing, who just accepted something because he's been studying and reading and accepted it about the pain and the anguish that he's going through. That's what's wrong with our people. It's easy for these monkeys, these monkey niggas to come in and suck our people in with bullshit who are suffering at the moment. Instead of, listen, it's for real now, explaining what might possibly be a truth, to give them another direction. So, and they already have documents saying Amerigo Vespucci. America is not named after it, but the Peckerwoods will still push that. And that's where most of the information coming on Google is coming from. Okay, here we go. Aethrio Worlds, translated by Anya Midgal, is published by Daunt. It's in England, or francs, or pounds. To order a copy, to go to Guardian Bank Shop. So, let me pull up this and see if it comes up. Maps of the 3 great continents, and Aethrio being one. Now, this, because you even had the Aetherius Society. The organization full name is American Federation of Police and Concerned Citizens. That is not what it was. Anyway, they have utilized everything, and people have a hard time with that. Even when you start talking about abysses, mermaids, and all that stuff. But anyway, as far as the book goes, the map of the three great continents, it's even been changed and manipulated in ways. It's just, But anyway, so Aethrio Worlds by Tatiana Tolstaya in a review in The Guardian. And dead lovers, family, and friends haunt these short stories. The author's first collection to appear in English in 25 years. There has always been a visionary quality of Tatiana Tolstoy for fiction within the first few pages of Aethrio Worlds. The narrator, who may or may not be Tolstaya, confesses that she began to write only after eye surgery in 1983. For 3 months after the operation, she had to live by touch. The incisions took that long to heal. Blind to the world outside, in my mind's eye, I began to see bright visions from my past. The narrator traces these visions back to her grandfather. Tolstoya is the granddaughter of the Soviet writer Alexei Tolstoy, who could also see the past in great detail. Every button on a jacket, every wrinkle on a dress. It has been 25 years since a new collection of Tolstoya's stories appeared in English, and Ethereal Worlds seems to mark a nostalgic turn in her sensibility. It is almost as if she is afraid now of forgetting the past, as 2020 stated. They're just messing with stuff, ain't they? Cowards. The opening story sets the tone. We are from the dystopian future of her novel, The Sphinx. The Sphinx. Page after page in the new book is haunted by dead grandparents, dead lovers, dead acquaintances. The narrator can hear them all in the midst of Moscow's urban stink, singing as if there were no tomorrow. Many of these stories are elegies for houses of the dead, apartments where the curtains are no longer drawn, closets full of clothes, fashionable before the world wars. Lakeside Dasha and the Invisible Maiden had once been overrun by 3 generations of the narrator's family. A dead father starts to appear dressed as his younger self in his daughter's dreams. An aspect. The cooking of a dish is a yearly sacrifice made by boiling up chopped cow legs till all the pain and all the death are gone, congealed into repugnant, fluffy felt. You sense this is a different Tolstoya, wiser, less playful. She doesn't need to dabble in the surreal to make the past seem like a dream. Her characters may be passing through Greece, Italy, or the United States. I'm going to stop it right the fuck there. So some people were questioning the term Ethereal. I couldn't find it nowhere. Then somebody reached out to me and says, Fred, did you hear about this woman? Is she Russian? I says, yeah, I know about her, but I also know about the story long before that. And I said, but I never read her story. So he sent it over to me, and I looked at it on my phone. And so it's there saved up. And I says, let me pull this up for people, because I know some people have been looking for it. But are you paying attention to the keynotes of the word? Ethereal, and who we are to the world. Look, dragons and demons and all that shit is real, but it's not how it's been laid out to be. Actually, we were considered the demons, the gods. That goes back to the Anunnakis, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Percent of the history that's been churned and spewed and spit out again. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the reading. I just wanted to share that. You know what I'm saying? Sephardic Jews, Kozakota, Nagas, break the ice walls. Abdul Bey's here? I didn't see him. Oh, hey, what's going on? Alita, what's going on, beloved? What's cracking, brother? Okay, I got you. Okay. All right. Anyway, don't forget to hit the like coming in, because you know a lot of people, you know, notifications. You know how they're doing it. You know, some safflower oil. When you use this a teaspoon, you can make it with like lemon meringue. You can fluff it up, you know, beat it up. Just don't use too much, okay? You dig what I'm saying? Good. So let's go ahead. 100 Years of Lynching, and this music might keep the tone halfway decent by Ralph Ginsburg. But check this one out. What's up, Papa? Don't come stepping on he wants to always step on the damn tablet when the light's on. It just draws you, don't it? I gotta figure out a way to cover your ears and head up, even though I'm gonna turn everything up, hang the Mylar. Yes, sir, yeah. Yes, my boy. I'm gonna get you in a minute. Hold on. So St. Louis, Arduous, November 9th, 1923. Klan hangs Oklahoma Negro for passing as white man. Eufaula, Oklahoma. How many of y'all heard of that? I want y'all to look at the EUFALA Look the word up and go as far as you can to circumvent and find out the truth of what it may mean. November 7th, okay? Dallas, Siwa. Negro was seized by a group of men wearing garb of the Ku Klux Klan, and after a Klan trial in the barn of a well-known Klansman, was hanged this morning to a barn rafter. Sowell was found guilty of passing for white and associating with white women, and he was therefore put to death in accordance with the Klan code. And when they spelled code back then, it wasn't with a C, it was with a K. Simple things. Literally, you can look up this character. He looked like a pale skin. It wasn't even a one-drop rule. I keep telling y'all. I've been telling y'all what you need to hear. I've been telling people for all these years, since 1978, when I was a youngin', reading marvelous material, and everybody was saying, nigga crazy. Now, them same people wouldn't call me nigga to my face, and they damn sure don't call me black. They never really did anyway, and I didn't represent nor recognize that shit. But, I mean, damn it if it ain't it right. So let's go ahead and get Jews and Muslims in Britain. I'm just going to read this one by Elizabeth Caldwell Hirschman and Donald N. Yates. Come to, like the rest, like so many others, convert. They thought they were doing something good, but I'm becoming Jewish. That's how I look at them when they say, I'm converting to Judaism. They don't know the first thing they're talking about with all that hate and animosity and envy, and it ain't done nothing, ain't created nothing. These people have just cracked me up. And now here we're at, because so many people waking up, they're like, we don't really want to use the nukes and the hydrogens and thermonuclears and everything else. But damn it, we gotta push ahead. It's gonna get bad. Nah, y'all decided not to come. You decided not to join up. You decided to be greedy, and I can guarantee every one of you done wasted a whole lot of fiat, worthless fiat, on a whole lot of worthless shit. And all that's going to be right where it needs to be at. Garbage. For the next world, they'll just burn it all, get rid of it, or whatever. Bury it. It's instead of just listening. Okay. It's not about right, wrong, but it is about not being wrong all the goddamn time. So, I want to read some more surnames right quick. Okay? Notes on Jewish connections to the Melungeon surnames of Y chromosome types. So we have Forbes, like Steve Forbes, George Forbes, blah, blah, blah. R1B, Scottish clan. Compare Sephardic surname Phoebos. So when you hear about that nigga Forbes, Givens, R1B, rare, matches Munas, Parish, Massey, Macedonia. Good, Goings, Gordon, R1B, E3A, and J2. Scottish clan, Sub-Saharan African type by Goings. Like the gymnasts. Hell, I1B, rare Balkan Jewish type, matches only other hells. Houston, R1B, 25-25, matched with Samuel Houston, 12-12 with Africa, Cuba, and so on. And there it is. Kennedy, R1B, from Canada, or Kennedy, place of the Khan. Candiano, Canada, Candy. And we also know that it also has a lot to do with the new age of the Ashkenazi Irish Scotsman, as in Leslie, which would be R1B as well, from the Scottish clan. Maccabee, Scottish name similar to Macbeth, from Maccabeus, Shamoka Valium. Moore, rare, matches Hammer, Wild. G. Morgan, Morrison, S&P tested, Balkan Jewish type, Welsh name, Sub-Saharan African DNA type. Newberry, Danish and Norman family, rare matches in Canary Islands. So we have some indigenous, and yet, and you know a lot of them in Texas, Alabama, some in California, yeah, Newberries. Oh, and Louisiana. Ney, E3B, Ashkenazi, matches Dutch, Galley, Canton, Raphael, Shapiro, Levy, Powers, R1b, Sailor, R1b, Sizemore, Stewart, Tally, Q3R1b, Tankersley, extremely rare, no matches. So Tankersley, old original lone wolf, you're good to go. I was hoping he would be here to hear that, so he'll watch the video hopefully and get that. Wallen, R1b. So Tankersley IRT as far as the haplogroup. What is that really? Anyway, Wampler, but you got to remember that some of those names, the surnames come from us. Remember this now. Wolf and Yates, Ashkenazi Jewish by Wolf with the E, like the guy that played in Glorious Bastards and the Django, that character. Yates, like Dorian Yates, close to Atlantic model haplogroup, Central Northern Portugal Ashkenazi name, Dorian Yates, blah blah blah. Anyway, and then you got the Canaries. So the Canaries, and as far as in Cumberland group, as far as the gap of 64, the percentage of Melungeon, 49, 6, 17, 4, 4, 19, you have that R1b, E3b. Well, R1b can be anywhere from the islands, the Azores, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Mexico, New Mexico, Cumberland Gap, Melungeon, 52, 62, 73. That's as far as the percentage. The lowest would be others, which would be below the G and the J and the 1 or I haplogroup. I told you to look up haplogroup, and so that way you have a clear understanding when I'm reading these things. Now, some significant genetic consistencies emerge from these studies. Across the board, R1b is the overwhelming type. Okay, and there's plenty of that, with an average representation approaching 60%, as we were stating in the Azores and Cuba and Puerto Rico, Mexico, New Mexico, and the Cumberland Gap. All right, across the board, R1b. Okay, in the overwhelming type, with an average representation approaching 60%, R1b is the bedrock male DNA of Western Europe, centered in Spain. If the core Sephardic Jewish population of Spain came from North Africa, as proposed by Wexler, one would not expect it to dominate. It is the most common male type in modern-day Europe, accounting for approximately 40% of all European males. African peckerwoods. Anyway, I'm not saying to be nasty. I'm not going to call you white. That's not what the fuck you are. Anyway, 40% of all European males, with a line of distribution that reaches its height in Ireland and shades off as one goes eastward. J.F. Wilson, and we always thought the Twa were from Africa. No, whenever you listen to these dumb Negroes teaching that nonsense, it's the pale skins. Anyway, again, accounting for approximately 40% of all European males. All right? Now, J.F. Wilson and his team call it the Atlantic model haplogroup. Its ubiquity suggests large-scale conversions of locally persisting populations in the Middle Ages as the genesis of Spanish Jewry, rather than intrusions of Middle Easterns or North Africans. To be sure, E3b, G, and I are also represented among these communities of New World Sephardom, as are J haplogroups, as well as T and R1A1. Now, but given the patterns, it appears that the majority of Sephardism relocating to New World communities were descendants of converts drawn from the southwestern Atlantic and western Mediterranean regions of what are present-day France, Spain, and Portugal. These are after the wars. Dead men don't tell no lies. Raped women can only cry and tell lullabies. And that only a small minority were of Semitic ancestry. Interestingly, those proving to have Semitic DNA do not necessarily bear Hebrew, Arabic, or Berber surnames, while those demonstratingly, those are the people that found it from here, carrying European carrying the European DNA, often do have such surnames. One can only conclude that Middle Eastern or Semitic roots did not carry a compelling cachet among Sephardic Jews, nor did the authorities distinguish such an ethnicity in their attempt to eradicate Jewish blood from Catholic realms. Only modern scientists or nationalistic definitions of Jewish have made Middle Eastern genes pertinent or problematical, since Middle Eastern Jewish and Palestinian DNA are indistinguishable. That's why I say they are killing their own fucking hybridized people in Palestine. In general, the genetic profile of New World Sephardim
closely resembles that of modern Spain, and we believe it is likely that what has come to be viewed as questionably Jewish DNA was introduced by Hebrew males carrying the J haplogroup out of the Middle East, who spread it to various parts of the Greek and Roman empires. These Semitic haplogroup bearing males seem to have served as stimuli for establishing Jewish faith and practices in distant lands, and were joined by non-Semitic haplotype bearing males whose descendants now compose the majority of both Sephardic and Ashkenaz Jewry. Next, we'll get into the autosomal DNA findings, okay? Said if you would just, people, and I'm grateful he got me this book, even though I have the PDF. Because I was looking through the PDF, it's the exact same shit that's in the book, so it's one and the same. And I just wanted to make sure there was like, because sometimes things can be changed a little bit and tweaked. Everything I've skipped over and looked at between the book and the PDF in my tablet is pretty much right on. It's like photos taken from this and in there, so very freaking good. I can't wait to read Alien World Order to y'all. I know y'all were like, nigga, I didn't know you had that book. Well, y'all don't know what books I have. But what's going to crack you up is when I show you this. It talks about world wars. And I'll show you these monkeys. And his picture is even in there. This monkey, I think the motherfucker's made up in the part of the wars of conquering lands and raping women and everything else. Ancient and Modern Britain, is Volume 1, David Mack Ritchie. I wonder if Boone is in there. Yes, Boone is in there. I've read that before, remember? Yeah. Let me see if I can go back and find it real quick. Yeah, right here. Boone, okay, R1B, Davidic, good name like Boone, or Bon. Yeah. But I know many Bones, and even that name, as you can see, it's not so much that it's Ashkenaz, but R1B pretty much is of that bloodline, and with a Semitic advert. So that means that no, they were sleeping with some real Semitic women, niggers, making these babies over and over and over. How'd you know that? That's how they knew to come here and try that whiting out shit, but for some reason it didn't really lock on. There's too many goddamn many of us, and too many of us killing a whole lot of them. So Ancient and Modern Britain is Volume 1, David Mack Ritchie. So remember that. A lot of those names, many people have. But that doesn't necessarily mean, because you know your blood type. No, if you RH and all that other stuff, and AB, and you just gotta look at your family and start talking, because you still might have the bloodline in you. Because you gotta remember, if you go back to the 8th great grandparents, how many great 9 grandparents are there? Do the math. Oh fuck. So all that fucking, and sometimes get the luck of the draw, and the winner of the draw, or the luck of the draw, or we get the the numbers that fall shapely. But it doesn't detach from the truth, especially when a lot of us have family members, cousins or whatever, who, you dig what I'm saying? Because I do have some family members that are kind of a different stock, and our bloodline is in them. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into Ancient and Modern Britons, Volume 1. The whole thing, what they did was to change the dynamics, make a new race of people that didn't exist, and then to quantify them with their allegories of existence, to create new lands and places that never existed. You think about when Prussia became Europe, and when Georgia became Russia, and the Anu Islands became Japan, and land of Xi became China, and we're talking about the 1600s, 1700s, and so on and so on. When the Polynesians started talking about, yeah, we have Asian ancestors. You don't, motherfuckers. You were niggas, afros, and some with long, wavy, thick black hair. Two distinct people. You could tell by their fucking hair, and there were different shades. And for some reason, at a period of time, we started birthing in these pale skin babies. And that's medically written. Just not everywhere. By their own hands. Is it a throw off, a come up? I don't know. Maybe it's a way for them to simplify with the superior race. We pop out of nowhere and not whatever. You know what I'm saying? So check this out, right? Ancient and modern Britons. Last time we were talking about the conclusions arrived by the various savants and all like different types of followers and blah blah, And then we got to the folk and troglodytes, the stone folk and the troglodytes, and as far as the two existed, something went wrong. Okay, I tapped it. I might have to take the internet off, guys. And so that's what we're cleaning up, as far as Professor Huxley and Mr. Samuel, whatever the name was. I'm not flipping the pages to go back, but that's what we're discussing. So let's go on to the next part, which is next chapter here. In his remarks upon the Aborigines of Tasmania, Mr. Bonwick, remember they're supposed to be extinct? Yeah, right? Mr. Bonwick refers more than once to their kinship, structurally, with certain prehistoric Europeans. Now, Mr. Carter Blake, a competent judge, describes a skull from a cyst in West Islands of Scotland, as of an ovately dollar. I know how to say this word. Dolichocephalic form, and having a narrow forehead with great projecting brow, like the Tasmanians, Papua New Guinea, Australia, Louisiana, Memphis, Tennessee, like back in the day. You can look at the Tennessee Gazette. It talks about the Twa of this land, like the Iron Island in Scotland, which means dark people, a dark continent. Okay? And having a narrow forehead with great projecting brow, you got a projecting brow, and some of our people have that, like the Tasmanians. Mr. Samuel Lang, in his interesting revelations of the Caithness cysts, imagines the earliest inhabitants of North Britain were combocephalic, boat-headed, approaching to a Negroid or Australian rather than to a Mongol or Arctic type. Again, he writes, and those have been found all over here. Okay, this tribe of Aboriginal Britons and Easter Island Aboriginal Britons must have more closely resembled the Australian and Tasmanian than the Laplander or Equinox. And Dr. Pruner Bay, in parentheses, to make a final extract from Mr. Bonwick's book, and compares our southern blacks with the prehistoric cavemen. Let me read that to you again. Dr. Pruner Bay, in parentheses, to make a final extract from Mr. Bonwick's book, end of the parentheses when I say that, compares our southern blacks with the prehistoric cavemen. All this chronological evidence, then, while it does not actually prove the correctness of Mr. Huxley's conjecture as to the Australoid origin of the Melanochroi, proves at any rate that structurally, certain of the inhabitants of Britain in former times belonged to the Australoid family. Excuse me. Whether their complexion was as swarthy as that of their southern kindred remains yet to be proved. And what did that nigger George Washington say? Well, we don't need Africans to come here. We don't need to further make this land swarthy like Britain, France, and England. And what is the other place? Britain, France, and Germany. I mean, hey, as that of their southern country. Anyway, the Tasmanian customs of tattooing of smearing the skin with iron ore and of erecting churns and circles of stones were also at one time British customs, and Australite people once inhabited Britain as well as the antipodes. And we know they were alike in their physique, and it would be strange if they differed in complexion. We're talking about the original fucking Brits, Dutchland and Scots and Ireland and German, yeah, Dutchland to Germany. Anyway, another and most important race to be considered when glancing at the people of ancient Europe is that of the Ugarians. During the last 2,000 years, says Mr. Haworth in a paper read before the Ethnological Society, we find that there has been a constant move in one direction, at least a gradual encroachment by the Celtic, Germanic, and Slavic races upon the humbler races of their frontiers. And these latter invariably of the Ugarian family, the Basques in Spain, are now pinned in a small corner of their ancient patrimony. Remember I was saying the Basque original were Negroes? In the time of the Romans. Now the Finns and Lapps have been pushed back in Scandinavia to a very small portion of their ancient holdings. In Livonia, in Estonia, and in 3/4 of European Russia. The Ugarians were, even in the 11th century, the preponderating population, the Abkhazarians. Proofs are now accumulating that before the Christian era, this process of displacement was taking place even at a greater rate. I had not read this. Listen, I just know some things. Traveled the world. This one. The area to be occupied having been much more fertile and inviting. I have attempted to show in a paper read before the British Association that a very great element in the Celtic language is Ugarian. And I believe the same to be true of the Latin and Greek. The German-speaking race can, I believe, be shown to have occupied Central Europe since the 3rd century BC, and the Celts and the Slavs to have arrived since the 9th, and the Indo-European elements of Italy and Greece since the 10th and 11th. Was I wrong about Arthur Koestler's The 13th Tribe and a few other books? If this be so, then we get a very recent date comparatively for the period when the Basques in Spain and the Finns in Sweden, anyway, now mere wrecks and wafts of the original population were close neighbors, and one homogeneous people occupied, now if not a ring around the world, at least one reaching from Britain to Kamskatka. I can't even pronounce the damn word no more. Kamskatka. When Europe was overrun by fishermen and hunters, such as we find in Siberia, where we ought to go if we are able to study the religion, the manners, and government of the so-called stone folk. Now you got to remember, a lot of them Ugarians were Mongol. But what they look like, I told you what Genghis Khan really looked like, and people are still having a hard time with that. But as you see, people are starting to dig out paintings and pictures of this nigger Genghis Khan, and they're just popping up all over the place. Ain't nobody making them up. Told you I got a good friend named Jinji, who is in Mongolia, Siberia, Mongolia, and he laughs at the Native Americans over here, saying, "How the fuck they don't know their origin?" He cracked me up, man. He'd be like, "Man, they don't know, they ain't been there that long." So that's why I don't argue with these cats. And he says they're mixed people too. They're a remnant of who they were. Ah, damn, that's good. But it's got a bitter taste. So I hope y'all enjoyed that read. We actually had an hour because it took forever for everybody to get in here. For those who came. Plantation hat. Actually, no. Actually, this is quite Hong Kong. This is, if you ever see me where I've got the original, like I've got like 30-year-old from doing cultural fairs, doing Shaolin Long Fists, 5 ancestral kung fu, to which I learned from Grandmaster Cam Lee, who resides in his 80s, I believe, in Miami, Florida. I studied under him. He was the 5th great grandson to one of the monks. I can't say his name. I'm not allowed to as a Sifu. I used to do the lion dances first, and then I was so good in forms, I used to perform all the combat forms in Jacksonville, Florida, Duval, Clay County. Yeah, when I was in my 20s and 30s. I studied under him for 12 years, and I studied acupuncture and all that crap while I was in the military and afterwards. So this goes with some big, long Jackie Chan, you know, yeah. But anyway, I appreciate y'all coming in. Share this, speak to the people, tell them to unsubscribe, resubscribe, tell them to come on over, and we're gonna have some good readings. And I'm still gonna break down some things, because you know, when I'm reading, I see things and I'm like, does it mean I'm right? No, they always say research it yourself, find out yourself. I'll pull some things up, but you might find out more. You might see what you need to see. It might even bring into question some of the things that I've shared. Okay? But remember what I said about this October 4th, somebody had to ask me about it. I don't know about all this crap. I don't care. I always say, you got to be prepared, but I figured I would let y'all know. And if anybody believes that some pilot ejected out of a F-35 Raptor, it's just still flying. That's like the train that lost over how many tons of ammonium nitrate, and it's got on its way again. And we had all these commandos over here who know how to make all these bombs and everything. No, okay. And they don't want y'all to have guns and fully automatics and missiles, and Biden making a joke with his dumb ass, or whoever he want to call himself, or whatever it is. You want your ARs, and how you going to fight F-15s? Motherfuckers, we didn't do too good in Vietnam, nor in this last 20-year war, did we? Oh, okay, so they want to keep poisoning us, because I told you, for some reason, these fucking politicians, these monkeys that control these platforms, they're just loving the fact that there's more poison here than everywhere else in the world. And yet, y'all haven't done nothing. You haven't raised Cain. You haven't went to these establishments. You haven't set up on your councils of these fake mayors and punk motherfuckers who like a dollar and doing the perverted things they do. You haven't done nothing. And so I asked you to do one thing. Let me get these up. Oh, shit. Let me share this with you. I'd rather get it. But if I was to buy this, the other ones are, you know, 2 of the other ones, no, 3, all 3 of those I bought myself. But this one you can help. And if you choose not to, then I don't know. I might just buy it and read it my goddamn self. So, the 4th book is out. My Nos Confounded. It's $27.99. $13. Whoop. I add the other 14, you know, I got all the shipping, all that other shit. But I still need money for the other books that I told you about that goes with Rights of Love and the Reading Cedars, book 2 and 8 part 2. So don't worry about the Vindicator Scrolls. I get that myself. That's $65.25. I'll buy that. So don't even worry about that. But the other ones, donate. Because whenever donate, I get the books. You saw that most expensive motherfucker. Thanks, T-Man. I appreciate you. But it's still not allowing me to go live over there, so I'll keep going live over here. I can upload videos. I can upload the same stuff here. I'm actually recording it with my GoPro right on top of my grandma, my aunts, Joe and Mac. Oh. I have an aunt named Maya. Mayan. Yeah. So Omac and Maya. 2 aunts. From the Carolinas. I can't make this up, people. I'm being dead serious. Scouts honor. Things are getting worse. Yes, they are, JM. And sadly, it is. I'm not doing. I look like I'm going to say that for a sub. You can sub or you don't have to. I got the information to share. I don't think you have anything to give. Except for your time. So anyway, so if anybody want to help out, you can send for this book, The Hidden. I'll show you what it looks like. So in case we might want to buy it for yourself, I'm still going to get it and read it here for everybody. Okay, it's $27.99. This is Hidden Lands Beyond Antarctica. This is the second installment to her, which when we finish it up, you'll see in Lana Mars where she states, what it says about what she's talking about. So this is the newest one that actually came out in June 12th. And I knew it was coming out. I just wasn't following when it was going to come out because even though I have them on Instagram, I don't really get the it's not notifications like that. It's don't be coming like that. So yeah, so appreciate y'all. It's nothing but mad love and respect, and we'll pick it up tomorrow morning. We'll get into a few things that need to be discussed, and then I might just go right into reading because I need to run around. I need to go for a light jog and see how the body's reacting. Feet still a little sore. But I might take y'all with me for the run. All right? If the sisters ever show up, they're looking, I don't get how people going to look over there. I don't get the laziness. But I have a clear understanding. No empathy or sympathy. But people are watching a lot of videos still over there. So the watch, I look at the numbers is going up. So I just hope that the handful of percentage get it. All right. So anyway, y'all have a grand evening. See y'all in the AM. All right. And share this. Appreciate it.